In this episode, I'm going to be showing you guys how to get a Canada visitor visa in just 7 days. 7 days to use? Yes, I said it, guys. In just 7 days, you can get your Canada visitor visa and move to Canada, whether you're traveling to be a tourist, maybe you're traveling to reunite with your family member, with your loved one, or you want to get to Canada with a visitor visa with the plan of getting work and then applying for a change of status. This is possible. In this video, I'm going to be telling you everything, all documents, decision, processing that your application is going to go through for you to be granted your visitor visa to Canada in just 7 days. So if you're interested in this content, if you want to get to know more about the information you need to get this done, why don't you hold back, stay tuned. I'm going to rush up to the market, and guess what? I'm going to be right back with more.
You know the way I do it when I drop lyrical. Anytime I spit lyrical, philosophical. All the niggas mimical, but they stare still on taking literal. Punchlines collateral. Maximum damage.
Hello YouTube, hello Chronicles, how are you all doing today? It's still your value-based king Fuse from FuseChronicles.com. We are a travel, tourism, and lifestyle brand here on YouTube, bringing you actionable tips and hacks for your international travels. Now, have you subscribed to our channel yet on YouTube? Have you smashed the subscribe button? If you haven't, what are you doing? Have you seen our content? Do you see how value-packed they are? What are you doing? Why don't you go down, smash the subscribe button, click the bell icon, which is just beside the subscribe button, that keeps you notified when we drop future content just like this one. And you're already here, so there's something about our content you like, there's something about this caption or the caption of this video that you appreciate. Why don't you go ahead and give us a thumbs up? It helps us a lot with the YouTube algorithm. It tells Mr. YouTube that you found this video valuable, and they're going to find more people all around the world to show these videos to. And if you have family members who are trying to get or trying to apply for a visitor's visa in Canada, or any other type of visa for that matter, why don't you share this video with them so they get to know what to do about their immigration to Canada, okay? Now, like I said in the introduction, in this episode, I'm going to be telling you guys everything, and I mean everything you guys need to know about getting your Canada visitor visa approved and accepted in 7 days. I mean, you getting a favorable decision from the Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada, stamping on your passport accepted, granted. Do you get it? I'm going to tell you all you need to know. So what is a visitor's visa to Canada? Let's start from there. A visitor visa to Canada is a temporary resident visa. It's an official document, an express official document that grants permission in the form of a stamp on your passport, granting you permission to come into Canada to stay for a definite period of time. So it's not an infinite period of time, it's a definite period of time. On average, a Canada visitor visa gives immigrants 6 months stay in Canada, 6 months. Now, there are variants to this. Now, what I mean by variant is sometimes it could be less than 6 months, sometimes it could be higher than 6 months, depending on what you are entering Canada for. When you get to the point of entry, after you have given them your ArriveCAN receipt and every other document you need for them to process you to get into the country, and you've done your random arrival test, if you have been chosen to do one, you're going to be given a visitor's record. Your visitor's record is going to have the period of stay in which you're going to be allowed to stay in Canada. So it could be less than 6 months, it could be just 6 months, or it could be higher than 6 months, depending on the reason or your purpose of visit, okay? Now, there are people who do not need a visitor's visa, or even a visa for that matter, to get into Canada. There are some categories of people who are not required to apply for a visa or get a visa granted them to get into Canada. Depending on the country that you are applying from, you might just need what is known as an electronic travel authorization. Now, people, particularly people from the United States, people who are citizens or permanent residents of the United States, people who have a green card, do not need a visa to get into Canada. All they need to do is to apply for an electronic travel authorization to get into Canada. People from Venezuela need a visa to get into Canada. Now, the reason why I call Venezuela is because they need extra documentation. Venezuelan citizens need extra documentation, which is different from other people who are applying to come into Canada. The documentation, they need extra scrutiny. Now, don't ask me why this is so. This is a policy and a guideline that has already been put in place by the IRCC that affects people from Venezuela. Now, the other people from other parts of the country or other parts of the world who are looking to travel to Canada who do not require a visa. Now, not just the US, there are other people also who do not require the visa. This depends on your country. It depends on your country of origin, the country in which your official passports or your official documents are being delivered or supplied to. There are certain countries that have a more stronger tie and relationship with Canada by virtue of bilateral agreements, and there are certain countries who do not have this in place. Now, it depends on the relationship your country has with Canada. You might not require a visa to come in. If you guys stay with me, if you stay with me to the very end, I'm going to tell you even a method. Remember the title of this video. Remember the title of this video is how to get a Canada visitor's visa in 7 days. If you stay with me to the very end, I'm going to show you even one that is better than 7 days. I'm going to show you how to get a Canada visitor's visa literally between 24 to 48 hours. Yes, Fuse is that nice. So I want you guys to stay tuned, stay logged on to this video, and I'm going to take you through all the process and documents you need and tell you how to get your visa stamped or granted in 7 days and even less. Now, who are the people allowed or accepted into Canada? What category of people are allowed to come into Canada? Now, the category of people that are allowed to come into Canada are people who have good health standing. Okay, now this is even different from the documentary requirements. This is the key requirement. Canada prides itself as one of the safest and most healthiest countries in the world. So people who can prove that they're well, they're healthy, they've taken all their COVID-19 jabs, they have a proof of vaccination. They've opened their accounts on the ArriveCan website or the ArriveCan app, and they've uploaded their travel history, they've uploaded their COVID history showing all the jabs and vaccinations. They don't have tuberculosis, syphilis, and all these sicknesses, and all these records have been uploaded to the ArriveCan app and it's verifiable. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm stopping today. What is going on? And it's verifiable by the IRCC, which is the body in charge of getting immigrants into the country. Now, let me just put this out there. Canada is one of the best countries to travel to. Now, I'm not just saying that by virtue of social economic policies and stuff like that. Canada is a country, or one of the countries in the world, that believes that the economic growth is human resource driven. So they believe that the growth of their economy is tied to their human resource capacity or the flexibility of it thereof. So they're actively marketing the country, putting in money or budgeting money to market different provinces in Canada for people to come into the country so that it can boost their economic growth by virtue of your competence or what you can do to add to different economic parts of the country. So it's with this in mind, you need to bear in mind that with a visitor's visa, you can do a lot. Now, I'm talking to people out there who are busy pulling their hair out and thinking, oh, I want to get to Canada. I want to get a work visa. I want to get a seasonal farmer's visa or seasonal work visa or whatever kind of visa. You could literally just start with a visitor's visa. Have you thought about that before? Have you thought about that? You could start with a visitor's visa to Canada. Get yours, like I said, in 7 days, or if you want, in 24 to 48 hours. I'm going to be coming to that very soon. And you can start from the first month, you can start to find work if that's what you're looking for. You can start to find work and then start to move to change the status of your visa by applying for a work permit because you've already secured a job in Canada, and you're going to get your visitor's record that also shows you that you've been granted a change in status. If you want to watch a video on how to change a visitor's visa to a work visa, I think a video is going to pop up there, or is it there? I'm not sure. But I've done a video about this already, okay? Now, where was I before? I think I said who is accepted into Canada. People who are healthy, people who can prove that they've taken all their vaccination and they're medically sound and well. If you are sick, even though it's an ordinary appendicitis or whatever minor illness, there's no illness that's minor because illness they're not taken care of can lead to death, but you might think it's a minor illness and your medical certificate or proof of medical certificate you submit, it can point to the fact that there's something ailing you or you're not well, you'll be denied the visa, like that. You're going to be denied the visa. Now, there's certain people who cannot be granted access to Canada. There's certain people, if you're from this country or you have these documents, you cannot be granted entrance into Canada. People from Somalia, if you're from Somalia, don't even bother to apply for a Canada visitor's visa. Why am I stuttering? What's going on? I'm sorry, guys. If you're from Somalia, you're not going to be granted visa into Canada. If you are from Czech Republic, why, Fuse? What did we do? I don't know, sir. I don't make the rules. The IRCC does, and they don't let guys from these countries in. If you are from South Africa, hold up, and let me explain South Africa's case, okay? If you are from South Africa with a temporary passport or a temporary travel document, you are not going to be let into Canada. Now there's one more. I can't remember the fourth one. There's one more. I can't remember it now, but if you want to get the fourth one, you might want to go to our website at fusechronicles.com. We have an in-depth article that talks about getting your Canada visitor visa in 7 days. Okay, you might want to get there. There's more information there that you could get on this topic, okay? I think it mentions the fourth exception, people that can't get into Canada from certain countries, all right? Now, what documents do you need to get into Canada? There's 17 documents. There's 17 of these documents that you need, but I'm not going to be talking about all 17. If not, we're going to stay here forever. I'm just going to be listing out the 17 documents. If you want to read more about the requirement for each document, you might want to go to our website, fusechronicles.com, and find the article Canada Visitor Visa in 7 days. I go in there, pick each document you need, and I highlight the requirement per document, okay? So let's start from document 1. You need 2 passports. You need 2 photographs. You need 2 photographs that are going to be submitted, professionally taken photographs of yourself. Now, I didn't say passport photograph. I mean 2 photographs from your head to your waist, photographs. At the back of the photographs, you're going to stencil your name, your country, and the date, and you're going to sign. Number 2. Obviously, you know this, guys. You need a valid passport. You need a valid passport for you to embark on this application process. And your passport needs to be valid for at least 6 months from the date your application was submitted. So if your passport is about to expire, it's going to expire in the next 5 months, in the next 4 months, don't even try, don't even apply for a Canada visitor's visa, you're going to be denied. Alright? And your passport needs to have at least 2 blank pages. You see? At least 2 blank pages so that a visa can be stamped. You need to submit a birth certificate. Your birth certificate validates your biodata page on your passport. You see this? Your birth certificate validates the information provided here. Now, before I move on to the other documents that are required to submit to get this visa, some of these documents are not mandatory. Some of them are optional. Alright, so I'm not going to be getting into the ones that are mandatory or optional. You can get that from our website. I'm just going to run through at least 6 to 7. There's 17, but I'm going to run through at least 6 to 7 of these documents. You can get the rest from our website. Alright, now the next document that you need is, of course, this goes without saying, a letter of invitation. Now, most people that are applying for a visitor's visa to Canada are usually people that are being invited. Maybe a business person, you want to close a business deal in which if you're going for business, you need to get a license, but I've talked about this in a different video. But maybe you're going to observe schools in Canada with a plan or an intention to apply in the future. You might apply for a visitor's visa to go to just look around. A school could send you a letter, oh, he's coming here to just check out our curriculum and our environment and our classes and stuff. Or maybe you're going because a friend invited you to Canada. You need a letter of invitation. And your letter of invitation must come with some article of association. What that means is, how do you know this person who is inviting you? Anybody could just stay in this country or in his city and just type a letter, I've been invited to Canada by Mr. blah, 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 blah. It could be forged. So they need to know how you are related to the person who is inviting you to the country. That's another documentation that you need to accompany with your letter of invitation. You need an electronic or paper copy of your ArriveCan receipt. Remember I talked about the ArriveCan account earlier? And the ArriveCan, it's a very key requirement, a mandatory requirement for people applying for any visa category into Canada. You need to create an ArriveCan website where you're going to upload some of your documents, particularly your healthcare documentation and your travel histories for the IRCC to be able to vet how compliant you've been with immigration policies and laws of other countries before you came to apply to Canada for a Canada visitor's visa. So you need to come with an electronic or a copy of your ArriveCan receipt that tells them that you've opened an account and you've uploaded all the documents and all the fees necessary have been paid. You need to upload this if you're doing an online application for a Canada visitor's visa, or you need to submit a hard copy paper if you're doing a paper application. I'll tell you the difference between the online and paper application later down the line, okay, so stick with me. Now, the applicant, you who is looking to apply for a Canada visitor's visa, you need to submit a document that shows your travel history. Usually this might be an old passport that you've used in the past that has expired, that has all the pages, okay? This is a UK stamp. This is a stamp that I got for a UK visa. Now, all the pages on your document must have had stamps, visa stamps on them. You need to submit that expired passport, or upload it and submit it if you're doing an online application, or submit it with your paper application if you're doing a paper application. Then you're going to go through your passport and try to see how compliant you've been with the visa stamp to other countries. This is going to tell them how you're going to be compliant with the immigration policies and laws for Canada. Now, you're going to send them your travel itinerary. Your travel itinerary is where you're going to be staying. Are you going to be staying in a hotel? Are you going to be staying with a relative? Are you going to be staying in a hostel? Where are you going to be staying? This is one of the documents or information you're going to have to upload to the ArriveCan website. So when you send them the receipt, your ArriveCan receipt, they're going to get this information from your account with the ArriveCan app or website. So you might not necessarily need a fixed document to submit as a supporting document or upload one. As long as you've uploaded this to your ArriveCan account, you're good. What are you doing? Do you own a business? Are you working for somebody? So you're going to have to send them a proof of your profession. And with your proof of profession, you're going to send a letter. Do I have a letter here? No, I don't. You're going to send them a letter that shows that your company is aware that you're traveling to Canada and they've given you express permission to embark on this trip. If you're a businessman, you're going to send them an article of formation of your business, the deed of ownership of your business, and any other supporting document that proves that you own a business. This is very important. This tells them that you have something of substance and something of value value in your home country, and you're not going to come to Canada and disappear. You're going to come to Canada, and on or before the expiration of your visa, you're going to be off back to your country. Now, account statement. Account statement. Your account statement, if you are an employee who is working for an employer in your country, your account statement is going to be your transactionary history in your bank account, usually a salary account, and it also must have an amount which is equivalent to 2,000 Canadian dollars. This is an amount that you should be able to look after yourself in a month. So your account history, your proof of funds must show that you have at least 2,000 Canadian dollars, or is equivalent in your local currency. Now, with your account statement or your proof of funds, you should have 6 months worth of pay slip that shows that you've gotten wages paid for a period that totals 6 months prior to your application being submitted to the Embassy of Canada in your country, or High Commission of Canada, whichever holds in your country. If you're a businessman, you're going to show them all your business transactionary accounts that shows that, listen, I'm a businessman, I receive income or earnings or revenue from these sources that is all around my business. This document has to be submitted as a supporting document. You also need to have an audited account statement that has been audited by a chartered accountant that proves that, listen, this person is a businessman. I can attest to the fact that he is a businessman. And finally, the document known as an identity document, which is literally just a biodata page. So can I find my biodata? Look at it. It's a biodata page of your passport. You're going to get a copy of this biodata page, a colored copy that is sharp and professionally photocopied. You're going to get it, and you're going to upload it to your online application and submit it as a supporting document, or get a paper version of it and submit it if you're doing a visitor's visa paper application. There are more requirements. I think I went beyond the 6 or 7 I said I was going to go beyond. I was going to itemize in this video. There are more documents that you guys need to submit with your application form. There's the form IMM 5645. There are just so many of those that you need that tells the IRCC that, listen, I'm traveling with my family, his name is this, his name is Chu, his name is Young, his name is her name is Lerato. There are so many of these documents that you need to fill up before you can apply or submit the final completed application for a Canada visitor's visa. You can get this information, like I said earlier, in fusechronicles.com. We have an article that goes intensively into these affairs. Now, how do you apply for a Canada visitor's visa? After you've gotten all your documents in a row, you've gotten everything you need, there is a laid down guideline that you need to apply for your Canada visitor's visa. Number one is you need to go to the IRCC portal and you need to create an account in the IRCC portal. You simply just enter your email address and a unique code is going to be sent to your email address. You're going to use that unique code to finish the account opening process. When you open your account, then you go to the section that is labeled Canada visa application, and you open the form. You select the category of visa you want: a visitor's visa, a work visa, a seasonal visa, whatever visa you want, a high skill visa, whatever. You select it. For this case, obviously you're gonna pick a Canada visitor's visa, and then you go through the questionnaire that's gonna come out that you're going to answer. Okay, now if you answer this questionnaire to the best of what the IRCC is expecting from you, you might not be required to take a Canada visa interview. Most people are required to take this, but some people do not need to take it. So you get all the questions, you answer all the questions, and when you're done, you proceed with uploading your supporting documents. All right? When you have done it, please guys, documents, your document, like I said earlier, they are mandatory and your documents are optional. Please upload everything. Don't take it that, oh, it's optional, I don't need to. Upload everything. Give them as much information as possible. Okay, when you have done this, if you are disabled, If you are disabled, or maybe you fall under the category of a refugee, you're running for your life, maybe there's war in your country and someone is coming to kill you, or you're an alien in the country that you are in, you might not need a passport, or you might not need to apply for an online application, an online visa application. You can go for the paper application. You print out this document and hand fill it, put your supporting documents and send it to them. When a decision has been reached, okay, the processing time for a Canada visitor's visa, the average processing time is anything from 7 days for people in the United Kingdom to 161 days for people in Kenya, Nigeria, and those sort of countries, okay? Now, if you want to get your visa approved and a decision sent to you in 7 days. Now listen, that a decision is being sent to you in 7 days does not mean you're going to be granted. You could get a decision in 7 days and you're still going to be rejected. But if you want to know this on time in 7 days, then on your envelope, if you are filling a paper-based visa application, put priority processing. Priority processing, a dash, your country. So priority processing, Nigeria, priority. Or priority processing, Hong Kong, processing. Put it like that, and they're going to know that this person is looking to get his visa processed in high priority, in quick time. There is a fee, there's a surcharge associated with priority processing. It's very different. It's very different for all countries. Not all countries have the same amount. So you need to even find out whether the High Commission or Embassy for Canada in your country accepts or offers priority processing. Now, if you want your visa application approved, processed, and a decision given to you in 24 to 48 hours, then you need to put on the envelope, on the body, super priority. Okay, it's called super priority processing. Super priority processing. Like I said, there's always a fee linked with all these services, but you're going to get a decision in 24 to 48 hours. Now, people who are filling their visa application forms online, their application form already has priority processing associated with this application. As long as you pay for your application fee, which is a nominal fee of 100 Canadian dollars. Now, this is the amount of money it takes for your application to be processed. If you're going with a family upwards of 5 people, so a family of 5 people and above, you're going to have to pay a round fee of 500 Canadian dollars if you're applying for your whole family. However, your processing fee has to be paid for the application at the same time. Your biometrics that you're going to have to go get has to be done together in one place and at the same time for this fee to accrue to all parties in this family. And yes, you are going to be required to get a biometric capture, okay? This is done for Canada, this is done once in every 10 years, and there's a fee associated with a biometric capture. I think it's 85 Canadian dollars per person, okay? Guys, please bear with me. I'm spitting off the dome. This information I'm not getting from anywhere. This information I've already gotten from the Canada Immigration, Refugee, Citizenship Canada. Okay, I've gotten this from them already, but because I want this video to be as short as possible, I'm just going as fast as possible. So if this video is too fast, you can slow it down so you can catch what I'm saying slowly, okay? Or you can play it back again. Now, what do I need? Now, people who are traveling to Canada as diplomats, servicemen, or representative of their government. These people are not required to pay an application fee, and they're not required to present the 17 supporting documents that the regular people supply. These people are just required to supply a passport. They're required to supply 2 photographs that shows the name and country at the back with a signature and a date. They're required to supply a note verbal. A note verbal is an official document from the government of that country to the Immigration Services Canada, telling them that this person is a representative in this capacity coming to Canada to do XYZ stuff. And they need to have proof of funds set aside by the government or the country they represent that says, for the period this person is going to stay in your country, this is the amount of money that has been allocated for this person's upkeep. These are the 4 documents that they are going to require to apply for a visa. And for diplomats, servicemen, or representatives of countries abroad coming to Canada, their processing time is only 2 to 5 days. Alright? 2 to 5 days. It doesn't take longer than that for them to get a decision. If they want to get your decision even quicker than 2 to 5 days, they would have to apply with a paper-based visa application and submit it to any visa application center closest to their city in their country. Alright? Now, am I forgetting anything? I don't think I'm forgetting anything. I've covered all the bases. If you have any other question regarding the Canada Visitors Visa, feel free to leave it down below, okay? Leave it down below. Maybe I didn't talk about the random arrival test. Now, for Canada, you are not required to take a PCR test upon arriving in Canada. You don't do this. As long as you can show that you've taken your COVID jab, and it's going to be on your proof of vaccination. You've taken your 2 jab or your single Johnson & Johnson jab. If you can prove this and you've taken it at least 3 to 14 days before you apply, and you have your test that shows that you were negative, and you can verify this from your ArriveCan account, you're good. But when you get into Canada, you could get randomly selected. That's why it's called a random arrival test. You can get randomly selected, and if you're going to get randomly selected, when you finish with the immigration kiosk, you've been cleared to enter into Canada, you're going to get an email 15 minutes before you get cleared. And listen, you've been selected for a random arrival test. You're going to take the test, and when you take the test, the result comes out after 4 days. If you test negative, let's start from there, you're good to go. You can go about your business. You are going to be required. Now listen, you're going to ask me, oh, Fuse, if I take this test, am I free to go about my business? No. After you take the test, you're going to have to quarantine yourself for 10 days. In that time, if the result comes out that, listen, you're negative, you're free to break quarantine and go about your business. But if you're positive and you've been let into the country, you're going to have to quarantine for 14 days. If you're positive upon entry into Canada, you're going to be rejected. You're not going to be let into the country. So you need to be mindful of this stuff when you have been granted your visa and you're looking to enter. Now, there are laws or there are COVID guidelines and protocols that affect people who are 18 years and below, 12 years and below, 5 years and below. You can find this on our website. This video is long enough as it is. I don't want to make it even longer, okay? Now, I have to buttress one point. That you get a visa stamped on your passport for you to get into Canada does not mean the job is done. You could still get rejected at the point of entry. Maybe if the documents or questions that the immigration officer is asking you, you're not answering them to the best in which they feel they want to hear them answer to, or maybe the document you submit does not tally with the document you submitted as supporting documents when you were applying for the visa, or maybe they test the fingerprint and they find out the fingerprint that they got during the application process for the visa is different from the fingerprint they got at the point of entry. You're going to be turned back. Or if they find out that maybe you submitted a health certificate that you're well and you're entering the country and they find out you're just not well, you're not going to be let in. Okay? And you would have to. I know that I talked about documents you need to submit. Now, this is something I have to stress. You need to take out an insurance plan, an insurance policy that's going to cover you if they find out that you're COVID positive. Canada is not going to look after you. You would have your insurance cover to look after your health care upkeep while you are on quarantine. Okay, so guys, like I said earlier, if you're not clear about certain things highlighted in this video and you need more clarity, hit me down in the comment section below. And if this video was valuable to you, if you love the content we shared in this video, and you now know how to apply and get approved for a Canada Visitors Visa in 7 days or less, why don't you go ahead and smash the subscribe button down there. We come out with travel related topics such as this on how to secure your visa and how to apply for your visa, the documents to submit, how to get work overseas, study leave in a different country. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, why don't you go on ahead and smash the subscribe button, and while you're down there, why don't you click the bell icon, which is just to the right of the subscribe button, which is the notification bell that keeps you notified when we drop future videos such as this one. And if you got some value in this video, why don't you go on ahead and give us a thumbs up. It helps us so much. It helps us a lot, particularly with the YouTube algorithm. It tells Mr. YouTube that you found the video valuable and you're going to find more people just like you all around the world to show this video to. So why don't you help the brother out, okay? Help us out. Let this message go out to as much people as possible. And somehow, maybe you have a family member or a friend who is interested in going to visit Canada, whether to work, to reunite with a family member, whatever. Why don't you think about sharing this video with them so they know about the protocols and policies, guidelines, and documents they need to present while applying for a Canada visitor visa, okay? And maybe the comment section below is too public for you. Maybe you're thinking, views, I can't go down there. Everyone's going to see my comment. Why don't you slide into my DMs on one of our social media handles, okay? We're active on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. So why don't you slide into my DMs with your inquiries and questions, and I'll be sure to respond to every one of them. Now, our social media handles on all 3 platforms are the same. It's up there at Fuse Chronicles. And don't forget, happiness is a choice. It's your right to be happy. It's not the place of your family members or your friends to make you happy. It's your right to make yourself happy. So why don't you say yes and choose to be happy today? And if happiness for you is traveling to Canada on a visitor's visa, why don't you go on ahead? Use the content in this video as a guide to apply for your Canada visitor's visa, okay? And in our next episode, I'm going to be taking you guys on a step-by-step approach on how to apply for a Canada visitor's visa. So if you don't want to miss that, why don't you go on ahead and subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you stay notified when that video drops. And if you want to know, if somehow you want to know how to convert a visitor's visa to a work visa by getting a visitor's record, a video is going to pop up right next to me. Why don't you click that video and get the information you need? And until the next one, I remain your boy Fuse. Have an awesome week ahead. Bye-bye.